seated just for a moment. And if you happen to have any kind of little bitty weights, like 2-pound, 3-pound weights, 5s are okay. They're kind of heavy for what you want. But anything like that, that's a weight or actual weights that you could use just to add a little bit of load for some shoulder stuff. If you can put your hands on that pretty easily, have that, but otherwise don't worry about it. Okay, let's start in a seat. Blanket under my hips and just take a moment. Just start here. Take a minute to just settle into what feels like a comfortable seat for you. So optimally neutral spine, but upright. With some room to breathe. And give some thought to, or just some attention to, what brings you to practice. What keeps you kind of motivated and consistent and interested? Just take a second, put some of your attention on that. Feel the in and out movement of your breath. Stay clear and present. Notice any sounds in the room, sounds in the environment around you, any sound. Notice the breath, notice the pause or the space between breaths. And take another 4 or 5. Be in the smooth, even smooth flow of your breath. One more breath here to open your practice. Anchoring attention and breath. Good. And then from your seat, you're going to just take your arms out wide with your palms facing the floor. Just keep going. Palms facing outward. Downward, so the backs of your hands come to face each other. And then just come back down with your arms just nice and slow and controlled. And you're looking to feel a good deal of squeeze or contraction kind of action right here in the top, this big kind of cap of your shoulder. That is what wakes up and turns on to lift your arms this way. Tops of the shoulders, backs of the shoulders. Do a couple more. Okay, and then if you have a weight, grab a weight, we're gonna do one arm at a time. And if you don't have a weight or anything that you can use that's just a little heavier in your hand, just gonna do the same thing without the weight. Just be very slow in your movement and deliberate in your movement. So you're just trying to isolate and really bring attention to the top of that shoulder and the length of your arm. The nice, firm, extended elbow. And then let it down. Do that 4 more times with your right arm. Notice if you're using anything that's a little heavier in your hand, how that changes the sensation of extension. You're going to feel more of your arm muscles too working. You're going to feel more of your forearm muscles here, helping to control this slow ascent and descent. Wow, look who it is. One more. Good. Relax your right arm. Let the right arm go. And if you're using a weight, put it in your left hand, same thing, 5 times. And if you're without a little extra weight load, just move very slowly, very intentionally, very deliberately, up and down. You can unmute Peggy and let me know if you're having technical issue or chat it. I hope you're able to see. Twice more? Once more? Twice more? Okay, let that go. Roll the shoulders. Okay, try a few if you have weights. If you're using weights, try a few with both weights, right? One weight in each hand. And again, if you're not using weights, there's the same thing again, just move slowly and deliberately, really tightening up and feeling the work of the tops of your shoulders, outer shoulders. And do just as many as you can up to 5. And see, where does the breath most help you? Exhaling to come up or inhaling to come up? When you're moving both arms together like this, can you sense the strength of one arm more? Does anything about the movement feel different from one shoulder to the other, one arm to the other? Okay, set those aside. Let's come from your seat onto your hands and your knees. Take a breath, come forward into cow pose. On the inhale, on the exhale, arch up, press back. Inhale forward, all fours. Exhale, round back, extend back. Child's pose. Let your elbows come down to the floor. Let go in the neck, head, feel weight of your head, let the shoulders release. Inhale, push through your knees, all fours. Exhale, elbows down, hips to your heels. Good. Okay, and then come into downward facing dog, really more for the experience of extending your arms and stretching through your arms away from the palms up into the shoulders. This is just like having your arms overhead. You're just facing the other direction. But let it feel like a stretch. Let it feel more like stretch than a whole lot of work. Take 2 or 3 more breaths. Good. And exhale, shift forward. Actually, don't shift forward. Just bend your knees. Okay, and then from all fours, again, we're going to go without weights to begin, and then we'll add a little bit of weight if you have a weight. You're going to come directly out to the side with your left arm. So palm facing the floor. Lift it up a little higher. Bring it back horizontal with the floor. Turn the palm forward. Swing the arm forward so it's directly overhead. And then bring it back. Turn the palm to face the floor. Lift. Even with your shoulder again, palm forward, swing the arm forward. Do that once more. Palm turns down, lift. Palm forward, overhead. And back. And then both hands to the floor, right? And then maybe just sit back for a breath or two on your feet if you can sit back on your feet. Should be feeling a little bit of heat in the shoulder at this point. So shake out whatever you want to shake out whenever you need to, and then go to your right arm. Same thing, right arm from all fours. Right arm straight out. Palm facing the floor. Lift without moving anything else, without opening the chest or the rib cage. Lower it again, even with the floor. Turn the palm forward. Reach overhead. Come back. Palm down. Lift. Overhead. Palm facing down, lift the arm. Straight out from the side. Palm down, turn the palm forward, reach. Good, one more. I think this might be extra. Good. Both palms to the floor, sit back on your feet, just come out of your arms. Come out of your shoulders, come out of your arms. You might do a little kind of eagle pose with the arm, right? Because we're flexing a lot right through here, the back of the shoulder blade, top of the shoulder, a little bit into the back of your upper arm. So if you want to just pull the arm across the chest, open some of that muscle tissue back up, breathe some of that muscle tissue, stretch the other shoulder. Okay, same thing again. If you have a weight, use a weight. Okay, so this is where you're going to really feel what 3 pounds really feels like, right? It'll make you really appreciate the utility of a 1 or 2 pound weight. 3 pounds, right? The further you get away from your center of gravity, the more work is required, the further you go away with the load. Okay, so do what you can. If you need to bend your elbow a little bit, bend your elbow, just bringing the arm in a little closer. So you're gonna go out wide to the left, lift, lower, turn the weight forward, palm forward, reach it overhead, bring it back, turn it down, lift the arm, lower the arm, turn the weight forward, overhead, bring it back, turn it down one more time, lift, lower, forward, swing it forward, bring it back, and then let it go. Good. A little bit of heat building, but just right here in one place. Right here, just emphasizing arm strength, shoulder strength, shoulder mobility, shoulder strength, arm strength. Okay, right arm again when you're ready. Okay, and if you don't have a weight, you're just doing the same movement again, just without weights. Very deliberate, nice and strong, very slow, good squeeze action, even without a weight. 3 rounds. Right arm, lift, even with the floor, turn the weight forward, reach overhead, bring it back, turn the palm down, lift, lower, forward, overhead, then back, turn the palm down, lift, last one, palm forward, arm swings forward, bring it back, and then let it go. Okay, and then forward fold from there. So all fours, curl toes under, the hips back, engage the quads, lift the knees, go back, and then walk your hands back to your feet. Take your feet out a little wider, or maybe a little out as wide as your mat, and then arms overhead, grab opposite forearms or elbows. Let this just hang, let the weight of your arms just hang, little basket. Take one more breath. Let the arms go. Inhale, roll yourself up to stand up. Good. Okay. And then step to the top of your mat. And then let's take that same movement with your arms as your heels are going to come off the floor, right? So your palms stay facing you or facing down as you lift your heels. Arms overhead. Palms facing outward, lower, everything back down to the floor. Do 4 more like that. You could have weights in your hands if you wanted to, just keep going with weights. You don't have to lift your heels too high at all. Keep the movements just well controlled. Well, in the sort of window of manageable, optimal. Good, and then from there, let's come to stand on one leg. If you want to use your wall or the back of a chair, a piece of furniture to give you a handhold, some stability to help you balance. If you want that, have that. You want to balance in the middle of your mat, middle of the floor, be there. Tree pose, so lifted sole of foot to the inside of your leg, either below your knee or above your knee. Palms facing one another, arms overhead. 3 more breaths. Nice and steady. Even, smooth in the breath flow. Good. Release with that last breath. Mountain pose, and just take a breath in mountain pose. Switch legs. Feel your weight shift from 2 feet into 1 foot, 1 leg. Bring the sole of your foot to the inside of your standing leg, above the knee, below the knee. As you reach your arms overhead, feel your biceps extend. We've had a little bit of work with if you were using weights, if you were being slow in those shoulder movements and the shoulder flexion, you might have also been using a little bicep. Feel that stretch as you reach up. Three more breaths. Good. And come down, shake out what we need to shake out. Let's do one more standing pose with optional weights, with weights optional. Both weights. Then we'll go wide with the feet. And so like a squat pose, right? So you're gonna go out, turn the feet out, and just sit where you feel like you can manage the weight of in your legs, in your hips. You're gonna go out with the arms, curl in biceps. If you're using weights, you can just extend out into elbows and then bring the weights to your shoulders. If you're not using weights, just strong movements, intentional, slow squeeze. Your arms weigh a lot. Just holding your arms out away from your body is holding up some weight. I'm going to do 10 more. 10, 9. Changing my knee. 6. Good. We can let the weights go. Okay. One more thing from here that we'll get if you're using weights or not, right? One more thing before we come back down. And this will kind of isolate the back of your deltoid, right? So kind of the top of this cap, right here in the upper back. You're going to take your 2 weights here in front of you, and then swing the doors open wide. Try to let it be about the shoulders working, right? So you're not just swinging, using momentum. Really use the muscles. Right from the back, it's just a good old-fashioned shoulder blade squeeze toward the spine. Also, so some rhomboids getting in that action. 2 more. Good, and then all of that can just go to the wayside. Let's go, before you come down to sit, just big wide circles with that first right arm. So loose, be loose at the shoulder, be loose at the elbow, be loose through the wrist and the hand and the fingers. And then go the other way. Good, and then switch arms. Switch directions. Okay, and then we're gonna come back to a seat. Right, so short sequence, but powerful for the shoulders. Shorter amount of time, you can do a little bit more, just kind of condensed intensity. Let's take eagle pose in your arms, right? So it's elbow to elbow, intertwined forearm, lift, pull away from your chest. And then lower, and I'm really trying to push my elbows down. Very strong push there. Do that once or twice more, just kind of lift the elbows. So the elbows are in line with your gaze, and then pull everything away from your chest. Back in and press down. And then let the cross go. Take the opposite. Cross, lift, extend away from you, almost concave your chest. And then push down. Up and down, lift, extend away, bow your head a little bit, chin down, and then press the elbows down, push. Then let that go. From your seat, drop your right ear toward your right shoulder. And then turn your chin more toward that same shoulder. And then just angle the head, angle the turn of your head. So your chin goes away, the chin goes toward. You track this angle with your gaze. So you go up to the left and then down to the right. Do 2 or 3 more. Weight of your head falls to the right, and then you're just an easy movement angle. Good. Let your chin fall to your chest. And then from there, swing over ear to shoulder, left side. And just take a breath there. Drop your chin more toward that shoulder. And then again, just that same lift, tracking that path with your gaze up to the right, down to the left. Up to the right, down to the left. Notice if you're upright in your spine, both sides, sometimes there's a tendency to kind of fall to the side where your head is falling. Just let everything here be nice and upright and balanced. Do 2 more. Almost have to do the opposite in your waist, what you're doing in your neck. And then let that go. Chin to chest. Slowly bring your chin to your chest. And then bring your head back up. Okay, and then come from your seats. Come back down onto your back. Stand your feet on the floor, bring your hands together behind your head, interlace your fingers there. Take a breath here. Elbows wide, push the elbows into the floor. Feel your upper back engage again. And then let it go. Just let it go. Pause through the exhale. On the inhalation, do that again. Just push the floor. And then release. Inhale again, same thing, but this time on the exhale. Bring your elbows in and pull your head and shoulders up off the floor. Navel to spine, kind of anchor the lower back to the floor. And then inhale, let it go. Exhale, come up. And really just let your head weight into your hands. So you could feel a little resistance there and a little stretch. Back of the neck into the upper back. And then inhale, elbows down, press the floor. Let's do 2 more. Good. And then you can let your head go. And then let's just go out to the side with your arms, or maybe even a little bit overhead. A little bit up, a little bit wide, but just wherever you can still have all of your full arm on the floor. Bring your knees up into toward your chest, feet off the floor, drop both knees to the right. Feet to the floor, let the feet fall wherever the feet fall. Adjust anything you want to adjust upward from your hips. So that you can just take a few breaths here, lying comfortably in supine spinal rotation. As you finish this breath, and just slowly come that side with your knees back into your chest, over onto the other side. Just long, wide overhead arms, big abandoned arms. One more breath here on this side. Good. And then if you want to rest, just come right here where you are. If you're happy here, just bring your hips back, feet back, extend your legs, wherever you want to be with your arms. If you want to set up a little bit of a little support of some kind, you could. And what would feel good For the chest, the front of the chest, the arms, and the weight of the shoulders would be to have a block. And thank you. Your head is supported, right? But your neck is relaxed, your neck is released, and your arms can follow. Set up whatever makes your body happy for 5 or 6 minutes in a Shavasana. We'll take a full Shavasana. Full short Shavasana. 5-minute Shavasana is pretty short. To work on lengthening Shavasana. Just let go of all of your effort. Can you feel your body let go of effort? Maintaining comfortable attention. To breath, to other sensation. Let's take another minute or two here. Little deeper dive into your relaxation response. Let's take 3, 4 more breaths here. You might enjoy lengthening and deepening these last few breaths. A little more awakening, to bring yourself back up to the surface. Let's go from your back over onto your side, and then slowly up from your side to a seat, so you can close your practice. Here. Take one big breath here as your arms come wide with your arms overhead. Feel the fatigue in your arms. Palms together. Lower your palms to your heart. Lower your practice here. Honor your time, your commitment to making a strong body full of clarity, deepening your mind-body connection, purifying your system. Lots of intentional breathing and moving. Thank you as always for your time. Namaste. Have a wonderful evening. Until I see you again. Oy.